Good morning, great morning, extraordinary morning. This, my friends, is a peak state. I put a tie on, I put the cufflinks on, has it shave up and push the hair to the side for a certain reason, because I wanted you to understand how many things, not just one, not just two, not just three, how many things are a part of reaching and achieving that peak state. I remember having one of the first CrossFit gyms in Scottsdale way back in 2008, and I went to go see my friend Chris Lillane, who at the time with his wife Maribel were running and operating one of the most successful boxes in the entire country, especially in San Francisco. And I said, hey man, what's the one tool, what's the one thing that you can give me that I can implement, that I can apply, that I can learn so that I can take it back to my gym and give it to my members, so that I can market my business, so that I can learn more on coaching cues, so that I can teach people how to squat better, how to feel better, how to perform better. And Chris looked at me straight in the face and said, bro, there is not one thing, there's 20 things. So if you're just joining us right now and you gotta go because you're looking for a quick fix, you're looking for a fast forward button, you're looking for the easy way out, you can go ahead and leave my classroom right now, because I don't have that for you, because there is no such thing. It doesn't matter if we're talking about your body, the way that you look, the way that you feel, the way that you act, the way that you create, the way that your business is running. There is no quick fix to anything. So part of what I want to convey to you guys today, to my tribe, to my people, to my friends, is that this state of mastery in itself is a lifelong game. Once you become a master at something, once you feel like you've got it down, you've conquered it, and you're on top of the world, you're at the highest pinnacle that you've ever been, you have to keep going. Because if anybody's climbed to the top of a mountain, if you've climbed the local mountain in your neighborhood, or you've gone to Mount Everest, you know once you stand up there, once you get to the top, once you have ecstasis, once you're in ecstasy and you feel like you've conquered this beast and you come back down, what do you want to do again? You want to climb back up. So mastery is this constant cycle, right? It looks like this. That's my pick of the day for what mastery looks like. So let's get into it, guys. If you don't have time to stick around, what I recommend doing is sending this video to yourself. Send it to yourself in your message board so that you can watch it later, because there's going to be some really good things that I discuss and talk about, specifically with, understanding your awareness of where you are. So the first thing about achieving and reaching a peak state is that we have to be self-aware. We have to understand where we are right now. And that can be really challenging for some people. To look in the mirror, to look at your body, to look at the numbers in your business, to look at your kids and your family, to look at your love life. Like, I might go deep here for a couple minutes here, especially if I'm talking to some of my men out there, my husbands, my fathers, my core, making love to your wife. How are you doing that? Are you doing it well? Is it average? Or when you walk out of the bedroom on a Tuesday afternoon because you and your wife have some intimacy, are you like, pow, I love you, babe. I'll see you back here again next week. Like, it takes some serious pain to look at every single aspect of your life. So what I recommend people doing is sitting down in solitude. There's too many distractions in the world right now. There's too many distractions in our home. Get outside. Take a journal. Take a notepad with you. Get outside. Climb a peak. Go for a walk. Go for a hike. And sit down and reflect. Take moral inventory. write a list. And on one side of the list, you write down everything that you feel that you're good at, you're great at, you're extraordinary at. And on the other side of that list, or on the other side of that piece of paper, write down everything you struggle at. Then take it a step further and text message. Text message works best because it's instant. Text message 3 of your friends and 3 acquaintances and ask them, hey, what do you feel that I'm best at? And what do you feel that I absolutely suck at? What am I terrible at? And then compile those lists. Compile the information you have in your head and your knowledge, when you felt the best, when you felt the worst, when your business was thriving, when you had money in the bank, when you truly felt content and happy, and give yourself a score. We do this often when I'm talking to clients about, a future business idea or possibly moving out of state or out of the country. And I say, hey, look, on one side of the paper, write the pros. And on the other side of the paper, write the cons. And if the pros outweigh the cons, it's time to go. It's time to move on. So take a moral inventory list while you're eliminating distractions and start by removing the negative environments. You've got to remove all negative environments. Could be where you live, could be where you work, could be the friends that you associate yourselves with, could be television, could be the radio. It could be your past, and that's a much harder one to get into in a short Facebook Live. We've got to go back and eliminate some of those feelings and emotions that we've experienced in our life that cause pain. Because if we don't get rid of those things, if we don't remove them, they're constantly going to be there. It's like scar tissue. And I'm gonna use myself as the example here, as I often like to do, because I want people to understand. I want them to relate. I want them to believe that no matter what they've been through, no matter what struggles, no matter what challenges, no matter what pains they have, you can move forward. You can become greater. You can get past all those things that held you back. My mom passed away in 2004, and a lot of you people, a lot of my friends and my family, if you go on my website, at KAYYEM.com, you can see a keynote speech where I publicly discuss this. It was the first time, although I've spoken about it many times, it was the first time that I said it to a group of 2,000 people. And I shared the story. The lowest place I've ever been in my life, the most painful, excruciating, hardest, darkest bottom you could ever imagine, that any boy could ever imagine, any young man, any human being could ever imagine, was when I came home to my mom's house in 2004, and I walked in her home, and I took 2 steps into her house, and I stepped on wet carpet. And I started to say out loud, Mom, where you at? Mom, where you going? Mom, what's going on, Mom? And as I heard the water running, as I saw the house was flooded, I realized my mom was in the bath, and the curtains were still drawn, and my mom's dogs were freaking out. And I ran into one room, and I ran into the next, and I ran into another one until I finally found my mom, who had died in the middle of the night in the bathtub. So as I sit here, guys, today, wherever you are, whenever you listen to this video, wherever you get this message, understand that had I carried that with me, which I did for many years, let's call it almost a decade, had I continued to carry that, I wouldn't be able to move forward. I had to go back. I had to relive that day. I had to talk. I had to show and share some emotions. I had to tell people this story. I had to get on Facebook and let people know that the struggles that they've gone through, your childhood, your past marriage, an old job, all those things, all those negative environments that you've survived through are the fuel, the exact source that we need to move forward and to progress and to achieve that peak performance. So, guys, I come at you today absolutely humble and excited to share with you a few tips and tools that I've used. In order to achieve sustainable peak performance, you need to be clear, you need to be centered, and you need to be focused. And that's a big challenge in itself. So there's 4 key areas for personal growth. Everybody has their own variation of it. Everybody uses a different form of it. I like to say mind, body, business, and spirit. Mind, body, business, and spirit. Those 4 key areas are essential to our growth. They're essential to our happiness. And progress equals happiness. For a long time in the fitness industry, I taught people how to grow that muscle, how to get stronger, how to get leaner. But it was really one-sided. It was only a fraction of the masterpiece, of the master plan, of the keys to sustainable peak performance. You know, in life, we have decisions and we have choices, some good, some bad. And most of us will choose to focus on the good ones first. Hey, I'm gonna start exercising, I'm gonna start moving my body, I'm gonna start training because I don't feel good, because I'm out of shape, because I'm uncomfortable, because my wife said, you need to get started on a program, because my doctor said this. We usually start there, and fitness, or the physicality, movement, is by far the most simplistic way to change your state. It's the quickest, it's the fastest, right? If I get down right now and I do 25 burpees, I'm gonna stop thinking about this video. I'm gonna stop thinking about some of the things that I need to do. I go into a singular focus, which is why it's so important to exercise and to move your body every single day. Most of us have that checked off the box, and if you don't, look, get started. It's simple. Just go for a walk, do a push-up, do a sit-up, do a squat, do some body weight movements. Most of us can check that box. That will help us begin to achieve that sustainable peak performance. I always say, guys, move every single day. You don't need to go to the gym, you don't need to work out, you don't need to train, you don't need to do high-intensity fitness every day, but you need to move every day. You need to get the heart rate up, you need to get the blood flow going, and more importantly, you need to start with something that you can commit to. Most of us can commit to an early morning exercise program. Step 1 of the 4 pillars, check. It's the other 2, 3, and 4 that most of us struggle with. The second one, the mind. What are you choosing to consume? How are you educating yourself? Most of us completed a certain level of academics, of school. Whether you graduated from high school or you got your master's degree, for most of us, the education ends, it stops. Maybe we get a new job, and in that job, they tell us, they teach us, they say, hey, this is the system, you need to learn, you need to study. But most of us, we stop right then and there. Our mind stops. In order to continue to grow, to sustain peak performance overall, we've got to constantly be working the mind. What is the mind doing? Are you reading? Are you journaling? Are you listening? Are you consuming? Are you attending seminars, events, and challenges? So first thing in the morning, after you've exercised, after you've moved, we say, hey guys, pick up a book. Pick up a book, find something that's gonna push you. This is an absolutely phenomenal book called Stealing Fire. And I'm gonna go ahead and share this, guys, just a moment here. I'm gonna share this to a page so we can get a few more people on board. It's called Stealing Fire. And what I want to share with you guys here is simple. Frequent access to non-ordinary states is the turbo button for your development. By bridging the gap between peak states and personal growth, discoveries will validate as a tool not only for self-discovery, but also for self-development. So in the morning now, you're already doing some kind of training for your body. Let's take it a step further. Let's sit down and read. I had a post last week where I talked about how to read a book a month. It's simple, 40 minutes a day, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night. Last night at my son's baseball game, I love my son. I watch him play, but I don't necessarily watch all the other kids play. So I keep my book with me in between innings, when I'm filling up for gas, when I'm stopped, whenever I have extra time, the book goes with me. Again, consuming knowledge then becomes my education, is going to expand my mind. Number 3, my business. When was the last time you hired a coach or a mentor, or you went to somebody who's a leader in your industry and you said, hey, would you take a look? Here's the deal. The numbers don't lie. I can tell you right now, I may do X amount of Facebook Lives a day. I may do X amount of emails a day, but you can do all that work towards what you think is going to grow your business, but the numbers don't lie. What's the bottom line? When was the last time you asked somebody to take a look at your numbers? What are you spending too much money on? What are you not spending enough money on? Are you investing back in the business, or are you spending the money that you're making? And truly finding growth and expansion and a peak state means that you have all your ducks in order, right? We got to make sure that our alignment with our mind, our body, and our business is one. It's cohesive. And then the 4th pillar is the heart, the spirit. How much are you giving? How much are you loving? Whether it be your employees or your family members, or honestly, most importantly, yourself. My wife had a great comment the other day. She says, you sure do work on yourself a lot. You give yourself a lot of self-love. And I thought about that for a minute, and I said, that sure does beat self-destruction. If I spend an hour or 2 hours a day working on me, if you're outlining your day and you're taking care of your kids and you're taking care of your business and you're taking care of your wife and you're taking care of your employees, but you don't spend a single moment hyper-focused on your own personal development, your mind, your body, your spirit, and your business, but through yourself first, you're going to have a real tough time achieving a peak state. So we've got to collectively work all these organisms together. Every single day is a new opportunity, and it's a new lesson. The key, or the path to mastery, sometimes looks like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. There are days where it's 1 step forward, 1 step back. As long as we're not taking steps backwards every single day consistently, as long as we're moving that needle forward, as long as we're increasing by 1%, then we're growing. And again, guys, growth and progress equals happiness. So I'm going to leave you with this. There are 3 things, 3 concepts, 3 ideas, 3 reflections that you can have on a constant basis that will help you achieve a sustainable peak. And if you start and finish your day, if you begin and end your day with these 3 simple things, you can write them down on a whiteboard, you can write them down on a Post-it note, you put them somewhere. And just for a moment, maybe a minute in each one, you spend a couple moments reflecting on them, right? Here's the 3. Number 1, give. How much are you going to give today, and how much have you given? Number 2, love. How much have you loved today, and how much are you going to love? And number 3, learn. How much did you learn today, and what are you going to learn? Give, love, and learn. If you can start and end your day with those 3 very simple concepts and sit and reflect, whether it be in a meditation or on a walk or sitting in the backyard quietly with your eyes closed. Give, love, learn. Those 3 basic concepts will allow you to have flow. And flow is what we're all reaching for. Flow is the path to mastery. I am going to be launching my next men's mastermind. It's for men only because we struggle. I struggled a lot for many years, and I still do. But because of this concept of sustainable peak performance, of finding flow, of creating harmony within your mind, your body, your business, and your spirit, I'm able to give, I'm able to love, I'm able to learn, and I'm able to create. And I've created this amazing 9-week course called The Extraordinary Life Men's Mastermind. Guys like you, like me, who are missing a piece, right? Maybe they're functioning really well in their business, but they're not healthy, or they have no relationship with their kids. Maybe they train and they exercise and they compete every single day and they've got 6% body fat, but they don't even know what an email list is, or they definitely don't know how to create a course, or more importantly, maybe they have a bunch of things going really well for them, but their marriage is falling apart. And I can tell you firsthand, I've struggled in all of these arenas. Therefore, having to come back in and create and conceptualize and adjust and work to improve some of these choices. We all have choices in life. Some are good, some are bad. We can replace bad choices with good ones. But most of us just don't have the tools to do that. The Extraordinary Men's Mastermind will do that. We'll give you the tools over the 9-week period, not only to visualize and see yourself living the life that you want to live, not just now, but in 5 years and in 10 years and in a lifetime, so that you can leave a lasting legacy for your family, for your kids, for your grandchildren, for future generations. I'm going to put the link in the comments below if you're interested. This isn't a funnel. This isn't some kind of marketing plot. This is what I do. I give. Part of my 3 concepts a day is to give, to love, and to learn. I'm going to learn from this broadcast. I'm going to love my family, my wife, my business, myself, and I'm going to give. I'm going to give you guys a tool. It's a downloadable tool called The Extraordinary Life, How to Live Your Life Limitless. And if you're interested in the program or you want to learn more about it, you're not going to get an email. You just message me. Send me a message directly to my Facebook. You can reach out to me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and you and I can have a conversation just like this. We can do it face-to-face on video using technology, which is great because then we can personalize and we can make this thing real. I truly appreciate you guys for being here today. Make it an absolutely extraordinary day and implement the 3 keys. If I give, if I love, and if I learn. My name is Luke KAYYEM. Truly appreciate you. Peace.